Alright, Code Vein is over, and same with, fucking Granblue Fantasy. By the time this video comes out, Code Vein might be done with. I don't really know. I'm pretty much done playing Code Vein at this point, and I will still plan on pre-ordering both games as of speaking of this video. Now, I could really say a lot more about Granblue Fantasy as a fighting gamer than Code Vein because I am not a crazy, Dark Souls fan. And sadly, that's about as much as you can really compare the game because everybody else and their mothers can't really think of a different terminology than just fucking Dark Souls, because apparently Dark Souls is the only game with a stamina mechanic and, dodge rolling enemy attacks, you know what I mean? Apparently that's the only fucking game that makes you do that. Totally not like it's been a thing for years, but whatever. Anyways, moving on. So, Code Vein's beta and Granblue Fantasy, both fantastic betas in their own right, except for the bad parts. So, I'm gonna get a lot of the bad out of the way, because when I first tried to record this, I kept going on and on about the positives for Granblue over Code Vein, but I'm not gonna do that in this one. So, let's just get the negative out of the way. Code Vein's beta was a bit of a mess when it came to stuff to do. You did mostly, one boss fight and then maybe kill a few fodder enemies, and then that was kind of it for the game. Most of your time will probably be spent in the character creator, which is kind of disappointing because this is supposed to be a network test, which means you were supposed to have multiple things to do. But sadly, the Code Vein beta didn't really have you doing jack shit besides the same thing over and over again at the very beginning of the fucking game. I will say that the character creator was fantastic, but we're going to get into that later once I get all the cons out for both games, and then I'll go into the pros for both games. Alright, another con. I think that the network test was a little too easy for my liking, and I'm not saying that this game has to crush me by its fucking heels, but it definitely felt a lot easier than your standard game that's supposed to be a Dark Souls game. You would think that the game would be soul-crushingly difficult, but sadly it's not. It really isn't, because of a lot of mechanics the game shoves in your face, like switching classes on the fly, and also parrying, which is a lot better than Sekiro's parrying, because you can parry an opponent and then just straight up fucking murder them. Hopefully they change that to where you can't insta-kill enemies from parrying, but I think they're going to, because you can't parry bosses that well. Because when I tried, I got my face kicked in like a goddamn redhead in a fucking church. But whatever. I think that's really it for a lot of the negatives. I also ran into a bug where the game kept desyncing for some odd reason. The audio just didn't match the gameplay. I don't know if that was on my end or not, but it was very much apparent because I was trying to record it and it was I thought my Elgato was just fucking up, but I checked and nope, it was the game itself. So that really needs to be fixed. And I mean, when I went back into it, yeah, it was fixed with another character, but it is still apparent that there's going to be desyncing problems as the game persists. Which brings me to my next complaint. I feel like some of the voice acting, while some of it's really good, I feel like some characters are very stale and very standard for day and age. This day and age, I mean. And that's usually with characters like Oliver and them. I get that Oliver is kind of a one-off character that you're supposed to fight near the end of the beta, but I feel like his voice was kind of stagnant, especially considering he wouldn't shut the fuck up throughout most of the beta. That's another thing I have a bit of an issue with. Can these characters shut the hell up? Unless they're giving story progression stuff? Because I swear, every time I went into the beta over and over again and went to different areas, the game would consistently keep reminding you, if you fall here, you'll die. If you fall here, you die. Let's try and sneak up behind him. If you fall here and die, you're out of regeneration. You'll fall here. I'm I know this. I can see on the screen. Now, I get it's probably there because some people tend to forget while they're playing games, but I'm not fucking Taya. I'm not those kids from who used to watch 4Kids as a kid and used to have Taya tell them what the fuck to do. So I really hope that they change that or give us the option to turn off that shit, because that's gonna get really annoying, like Final Fantasy fucking 13 Lightning Returns with Hope. Give us an option to turn off our companions for that crap, please. Oh my god. I think another issue that I have with the beta, but this is more with the character creation, a lot of people have brought up that one of the main issues was that, you're not able to pick out a lot of beard options for my beard fans out there. But you know, my main problem is that there's really no body sliders in the game. You can, you know, do sliders for like colors and makeup and freckles and all that shit. That's great. But I'm one of those people that likes to mess around with the body proportions of my characters. And if I can't do that, that's really disappointing because I thought that would be kind of a thing. Now, there is a slider that's like body physique, but that doesn't really mean much. Like, what if I wanted to be extremely fucking skinny? Or maybe I wanted to be dummy thick. You know, the proper version of dummy thick, not that whole, she's dummy thick, like fucking Catwoman or some shit from fucking Spider-Man. No, I'm talking dummy thick, like fucking Rhino or some shit. But, yeah, that's really all I can say about the bad parts of Code Vein. Also, I really wish that the game kind of told us that, you know, your parry animation changes depending on which blood code you're wearing. And that you can actually wear your normal outfit that you decided to wear in, you know, the hub world in the fucking game and not be changed down because you're wearing a different blood code. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that bother me, and I don't know why. Anyways, moving on to the next part, which is Granblue Fantasy's cons in their beta. Alright, let's get this out of the way. I really wished I could actually play as the fucking wrestler guy in the beta. But that's not really a complaint, that's just more or less me being petty. But, well, let's just get into what I didn't like about the beta, and then we'll move on to the pros of both betas. So, main problem with Granblue Fantasy. I really fucking don't like the lobby system that much. I like the aesthetic, but I don't like the fact that the netcode takes a shit when you're in there. Now, I get Ark really loves their lobbies, but I feel like if they want to make this lobby work, they gotta fix that netcode. Because at some points, like, you can't even tell half of the time when somebody's trying to do a rematch with you because the lobby lags so damn much that, like, you can't tell if somebody's trying to move or not. On top of that, I want to throw in that there was weird bugs where we were trying to get, you know, rematches with each other because me and my friends got codes. So we went to the beta and we tried to rematch each other. But then the game was like, yo, you disconnected from the lobby, disconnected from the lobby, disconnected from the lobby. Or, you know, fucking... and other dumb shit where, like, the arcade cabinets, like, glitch out, and you basically couldn't fucking run. You couldn't move, you had to sit there and wait for, like, 5 fucking minutes for the lobby to refresh itself, or you just got kicked out of the lobby. And that's really fucking annoying, and I hate that that's a thing. And I really would hope that it gets fixed. Or at the very least, let us make our own rooms so we don't have to do that shit later. Another thing that I kinda also really don't like about this game. I feel like combat's a little slower than it should be. And I'm not saying like the animations are slow, because I think the animations are really good. I like the animation style that they went with for this game. Because Granblue was never like this big hyper action anime fighting game, or, you know, mobile game, I guess, because I play the mobile game. It was always kind of this like think out your attacks and all that other shit. So they implemented that with the skill system, but it also runs into the problem that, you know, sometimes character movements look like they take a shit sometimes, or come out slower than they're supposed to, or inputs are not being read. And that becomes a problem, especially for me, a guy who uses visual cues to do fighting games. Also, last thing, because this is going to get really fucking repetitive later on when I actually make a full review of this game. I think my main issue also is with the special attacks. Not the fact that they're in the game, like, you know, the special attack with fucking Grom in them. My main problem is that if you kill an opponent, in your first attack or second attack of the special attack, the animation just ends right there. You don't see the big old eldritch dragon fucking pop out of nowhere. It's like, nope, you killed it in the first hit, and that's it. I really wish they'd let us just continue on, or at the very least, give us an attack that's similar to BlazBlue's Astral Finish system, where if you hit them with it once, it just goes through the whole animation and not just fucking cut you off right there. You know what I mean? Like, I would really love if that was a thing in this game. But outside of that, everything else was actually really fun. I enjoyed playing Granblue Fantasy with a lot of my viewers, because I played it with my friends G-Kage, Ravencloak, Pre-Adult Rex. We all went into a lobby together and, like, just, you know, were beating the shit out of each other for like a few hours until either the beta kicked us out or one of us just got, you know, tired and bored and, you know, went to sleep or some shit. I think overall, I'm definitely more recommending Granblue Fantasy over Code Vein. Although, that's just more or less so I can actually have something to fucking do when I fucking have to deal with editing videos. God damn it. Alright, now for the good stuff. This is mostly Code Vein's good stuff, I guess. We'll start that first since I talked about its negative first. Code Vein's character creation is actually really fucking good, and I really wish that Bandai would actually learn their fucking lesson and do more character creations like this. Give us more options, give us more sliders, all that shit. Give us the option to just freaking roleplay as a new anime girl from the block, like I tried making Shuten Doji and fucking Toga from My Hero Academia. But it also runs into the thing where, you know, the character creation is on point with a lot of these sliders, like from eyes to costumes to color palettes and all that stuff. And also the game doesn't look like dog shit like fucking Jump Force, so at least Bandai's mostly listening for the most part. I think overall though, another thing I can really compliment the game on is that the fact that it implements a lot of what Dark Souls made good and kind of toned it up for those who are not into playing games that are trying to kick their balls in. Because the combat's easy to get into, they explain everything from the get-go, they don't force you to like learn that shit on your own or whatever. Like, you have the option to go through the tutorial, and you have the option to skip tutorials, which is something that's really, really fucking great, because I had so many fucking problems with replaying games and then forcing us to go through the fucking beta or the demo all over again. So, props to y'all, Bandai, and props to the development team who's working on this game, because I know damn well Bandai didn't do that shit on their own. Oh, Bandai is gonna fucking ban me from playing any more of their betas. I think the last thing I want to really touch upon when it comes to Granblue Fantasy and, you know, Code Vein, both games are phenomenal, but let's just get into the brass tacks of, you know, the last thing on our list, which is the Granblue Fantasy beta. I like the fact that the beta actually makes you play fair. It doesn't have some stupid ass mechanic like fucking Dragon Ball FighterZ does, where you are kind of forced to use Dragon Rush a lot. Like, you're forced to use Dragon Rush and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Super dashing is hella annoying, and like key spam all over the damn place. With Granblue Fantasy, the game prevents you from doing so, and you're honestly just being forced to play honest. Characters have a variety of movesets that are, you know, tailored kind of to how you want to play. Do you want to play high pressure and high reward? Then play fucking Cat. Do you want to be a little midget and kick somebody's ass? Then play Charlerita. You want to be a zoner? Play Fairy. But just be warned, if you play against somebody else, they're more than likely staring more at your armpits than actually at the fight. Do you want to play a Shadow character that's got good neutrals? Play Grom. Do you want to play as a Sword Art Online character? Fucking play Lancelot, who is actually one of my favorites in the beta. And stuff like that. The music's on point. I love the animations for a lot of the attacks, a lot of the movements and all that stuff. Even if they could be sped up a little bit for like the, you know, the neutral running and all that shit. And you know, that kind of stuff. Like, it's phenomenal, and I really fucking love playing this beta. I think if I had to pick out of the two, Granblue Fantasy was more of my favorite because there was more to do. You had constant access to a whole bunch of people to fight against. I love the lobby setup, even if it needs some tweaking. The music's on point, the animations are great. It's an honest fighting game. It's like if Street Fighter and Street Fighter and Guilty Gear, you know, kind of had a baby and didn't drop it down a flight of stairs, hoping it would probably bash his head into the concrete. You know what I mean? It's a very much of a promising game, and I'm looking forward to playing it when Arc System releases that game. Code Vein, also same thing. It's a really fantastic game, and I love both of these games. And I'm really hoping to do LP on Code Vein when it comes out, and I really hope to do a full playthrough or full whatever with Code Vein. So that's really all I gotta say. So overall thoughts. Both games are great. They have their issues. Nothing is perfect. That is it. You know what I mean? That is it for both sides. But here's the thing though. I want to make more of these kind of videos where I talk about betas that I'm a part of, because I did the same thing with the Shinobi Strikers thing, and some people seem to have liked that. So I might start doing more of those. Now I'm not sure how I feel about doing a video on a fighting game beta, because I would have done the same thing for Cross Tag, because I got into the Cross Tag beta. But I don't know. So you guys let me know. Do you guys like these kind of videos? Do you guys not like these kind of videos? Y'all let me know. So that's it. I don't know how to end this video off without sounding like a complete jackass. All I want to really say is thank you guys for helping me out with this. I wouldn't have gotten into the beta if it wasn't for the fact that I was doing it for you guys and also for myself a little bit, but you know what I mean. And hopefully I can do more of these kind of videos where I just sit down and talk about my experience with betas and all that stuff, like experiences with betas, experiences with like early access copies or something of that nature. Because I want to do more with this YouTube channel than just do Let's Plays, and I think doing these talks every so often might be the kind of content that I can do. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. So, much love to y'all. I'm going to see y'all later. And if you excuse me, I gotta edit this video together because I'm trying to make sure it's under fucking 20 minutes. So, I'm the Ramen King, signing out for another time, another place, another year. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next episode, whatever I'm making. Till next time, guys, peace.